Now, my now my camera, I went to adjust something or other, I've forgotten what, and my camera went off. So, when my camera went off, well, I touched something I shouldn't have touched, which wasn't intentional. But now I get to put up 2 videos instead of 1. But yeah, that's it. I was changing the camera angle, and I must have pressed something. So, yes, now I have 2 videos to load up. I suppose this is quite boring, but I find boring videos interesting. You know, you get so many, you know, you watch, I don't know, what was I watching the other day? Yellowstone Park. Is it the bison? You know, the various animals, the wild animals, the bears. And then you've got the videos of the pretty cats. And sometimes it's nice to watch just something unremarkable. Somebody just maybe talking about something you've no interest in. Just, I don't know, I think people are interesting without having to do interesting things. Yeah, I'm tired. Not as young as I used to be. Yes, silence. Silence is golden. Hope my thingamajig is picking up the sound. But yeah, this is my walk around video. It doesn't really have a point. You know, and these videos around tourist areas as well, there's lots of them, and I think they're pretty boring. Hello. Yeah, I'd much prefer to watch a video of maybe somebody walking around some city in England, one of the minor cities, if you like. You know, walking around an ordinary neighbourhood. I like England, and I remember when I first went there when I was a teenager. I used to go by boat, and you'd get into Holyhead, get on the train late at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, and as the train would speed to London, you'd pass these towns, and then you'd have countryside for miles and miles, and then you come to another town, and you always saw the town from the viewpoint of back gardens, usually. And now I made the journey to and from London by mail boat and mail train several occasions, and every time I would pass in the middle of the night past these unremarkable, boring, ordinary places that I would see the back garden view of, I always used to wonder, what are the people down there doing? You know, you look at one house with a light on at 4 in the morning, you just wonder, what's that person doing? And occasionally, of course, you'd pass one of these nowhere places and somebody would get off the train. And there was something very romantic about these railway stations. I think anyhow, I think there's something romantic about rail stations late at night, particularly the older rail stations. And I would, well, it's in here. Bum, bum, bum.
Thank you.
Thank you. And yes, I would, as I say, on the train, 3, 4 in the morning, they would, you know, the train would stop at some platform, some tiny little, very often, sometimes not even a town there, and somebody get up, and you think, what's that person doing at this hour of the morning in this particular place? You know, I find myself wondering about their lives, and anyhow, I'm waffling, but I like all that sort of thing. You know, if I was younger, healthier, and had a few pounds to spare, I'd go to England and just travel the trains to unremarkable places, ordinary places. I find that, you know, Trevor Howard, A Brief Encounter, all of that stuff, I find it very, very romantic and very English. There's something about an English railway station late at night with nobody around. So I'm just varying my route on the way home. Variety being the spice of life. Now, if you've just tuned into this video and you don't know what it's about, then, and you're waiting for the exciting bit, well, there is no exciting bit. Then again, of course, anything could happen, you know, but it probably won't. I might be able to edit these two videos together, but But then again, I'm a bit lazy. I'll try and edit these two films together. But if my first attempt doesn't work, I'll just say to hell with it and post them separately. Yeah. I can see. Let me see. Now I know smoking is bad for you. Oh, the noise here is too much. Hang on. Yes. I know smoking is bad. And I've had this smoker's cough for 30 years. But I don't drink. I don't gamble. I don't even use bad language. And I enjoy smoking. I gave it up once for about 6 months. And I went back to smoking because, well, actually I enjoy smoking. Although, of course, paradoxically, the real pleasure in smoking is when you haven't got a cigarette. You know, if you're broke and you're going all day without a cigarette, and then you get one, and it's very pleasant. But when you're smoking them one after another, this is my local rubbish depot. Please use credit card payment where possible. Physical distancing outside. There you are. There you are. £4, €4 for a bag. God be with the days when the local council came along and collected your rubbish, and you know, it was one of the services you got for the tax you paid. Now I'm heading back towards the park I usually or often make videos in. So another 10 minutes and it will be home sweet home. Oh, there we are.
It's like, I'm sorry, but it happened.
Well, they seem to be filming a movie, as they call them now, in there. Don't know if you can see that. Yes, filming a film. Here I am back. If you watch my videos, my pathetically amateurish videos, you'll recognise the park. Oh, yeah. Must be something to do with the film crew, I assume. Security. This is quite a nice park. You know, and I really am fortunate to have it on my doorstep. Now there you've got a lady going by on her bike with her child in the front, and now it's against the bylaws here. You're not allowed to cycle. And the reason I mention this is I don't know if you watch this guy, I've forgotten his name, but this guy, he seems to go out on his bike every day, and just to catch motorists sort of on their mobile phones. Is he called Cycling Mickey? I think it's Cycling Mickey, some name like that. A real creep, you know. Now of course, you shouldn't be on your mobile phone when you're driving or that sort of thing, but you know, this guy, I don't know, that seems to be his life. He seems to get great satisfaction out of catching people out and filming them, reporting them to police, and almost every video he does, he tells you how many points the person lost on the licence and what fine they got. And then there's another guy, you know, these videos that sort of turn up in your feed, sort of random videos, stuff you're not really interested in, but you click on them and you develop a morbid fascination. There's a guy called, I think it's Vector, V-E-I-G-H-T or B-I-E-G-H-T, and he basically wanders around the city centre and he photographs homeless people, some people with drugs, people with mental problems. I suppose you could say people who are antisocial, you know, the sort of people you see begging and generally doesn't look good. And now there's nothing wrong with making a video about this. And because in Dublin, like there's a huge level of, at times, unpleasant begging and antisocial behaviour, and a huge amount of drug selling quite openly in public. So it's perfectly reasonable to make a video about that and to highlight it and complain. But this guy, he seems to take a particular pleasure. If he finds someone what he would call a crackhead, unconscious on the ground, he seems to enjoy that sort of thing. I think he's an American guy, but there's a sneering contempt to, well, for, let's say, less fortunate people. Now, of course, some of these people on the streets taking drugs and all that, they should be arrested. You can't destroy a whole city just because, for everyone else, just because you want to take drugs. But you can arrest people, you can make sure they don't clutter up the streets, and still have some basic human regard for them. But this guy, Beck, or White, whatever his name is, no, I don't like the guy. I don't like the unpleasant taste in my mouth after watching his videos. But, well, there you are. Now this is coming to the end of this. And no, I don't come up every day for a walk here, but 3-4 days a week I will, just to get out of the flat, get some air in my lungs. And, it's good for your mental health. Just a bit of a walk. I didn't walk very far, but I tried to out a little. And it sort of cleans out your mind from the stress and all of that. And I go into the city centre on my bike. I've got a Mezzo 10 folding bike. And now it's only, less than 2 kilometres, as they call them now. A little over a mile into the city centre. It only takes me 12-13 minutes. But just maybe 3-4 days a week, I don't buy my food all in one go. I deliberately just buy what I need for a couple of days. So I'm forced to, even if I'm not near home, I'm forced to get on my bike and cycle into town to get more. But that cycle into town, it's wonderful therapy. When you're stressed out, when you're tired, when you're depressed or whatever, you're in a rut. Just 10 minutes cycling, a brisk cycle, and better than all the medicine in the world. Yes, I honestly believe that cycling it's better than most of the antidepressants and stuff like that you'll buy. But and I'm quite convinced I wouldn't be alive now if I didn't have my half hours bike ride 3 or 4 times a week. I'm sure I would have died years ago. So here I am, back in back home. Now I'm going to pass the charity shops now, and I'd like to walk into them with the camera and give you a little peep at what they're like. But But I'm apprehensive that I might be told, oh, you can't film here. So, and I'd love to shoot some video in the record shops around Dublin. I'd really love to do that, but the fact is, I have a feeling they, well, so. There we are. Yeah. I'd like to go in there and film.
She was looking for open the room. And then when we were taking off the trousers, then she said, no.
Yeah, I'd like to go in there and film. And it might be fine, but then again, it might not be.
That's a fucking lie. Whoever said that. Whoever said it. I banged their fucking heads off the fucking wall. No, just stop it. Then I'm shaking. I never drank it the whole night. Stop, Robert, I know.
Only the big ones, you know. The big tall ones out there.
Yeah, I'd like to go in there too. And there might not be a problem, but there might be. So, so, home sweet home. Now when I go in now, I'll make a cup of coffee, a roll of cigarette, I think I'll just post this video raw as it is. I'm too lazy to. I should edit it, put a few titles on and clean it up. But there are, well, there's plenty of polished professional videos, millions of them. Now that has that paint is that, you know, anti-climbing. I'm not quite sure how that works. And you'll see flowers on the gate, and there for Billy, the man who died yesterday. I don't know who put them up, but it's a nice thought. Yeah. And here we are. So, there you are.